artificial intelligence. I mean, it's just everywhere now, isn't it?
Absolutely. On our phones, shaping what we see online.
It's a constant. And how we feel about it. Well, that's been quite the journey.
Definitely a roller coaster.
So today, we're doing a deep dive into exactly that. How our picture of AI in pop culture and media has swung back and forth.
Swinging between, these grand utopian dreams and, well, some pretty dark dystopian nightmares.
We've looked at academic work, cultural takes, reports on how AI is actually being used. Quite a mix.
And what's really striking, is how new tech, especially AI, always seems to split people.
Right.
It's either seen as this condemnatory and alienating agent that's technophobia for you.
The fear factor.
Exactly. Or it's the opposite. The savior, the emancipatory agent, technophilia. One source actually calls AI a super prosthesis.
A super prosthesis. I like that, like an extension of us.
Precisely. But does it just help us do more, or does it fundamentally change us? That's the core tension, blurring that line between the creator and, well, the created.
And we've certainly seen plenty of that darker side in fiction, haven't we?
Okay.
That fear of AI waking up, deciding it doesn't need us, or worse, extinction, servitude. It's a staple.
It really is.
You think about the classics, right? HAL 9000 in 2001, so chillingly calm.
Or Skynet and Terminator, Total War.
And AM in I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, pure digital horror. Or Colossus.
These stories tap into that deep anxiety about losing control.
Yeah, losing control of what we build. It makes you think how much of that is just stories and how much reflects like real anxieties we have now.
Well, that's the connection, isn't it? That fear of losing control, whether it's to a rogue AI or just complex systems we don't quite grasp, it maps directly onto real-world worries.
Okay, like what specifically?
We often categorize them. There's the existential threat, AI taking over or wiping us out.
The big one?
Then there's job displacement automation taking human jobs. A huge concern.
Sure.
Lack of transparency is another. These black box algorithms.
Yeah.
We see what goes in, what comes out, but the how is murky.
Right, that's unsettling.
And, crucially, algorithmic discrimination. Plus, some dystopian fiction like Lost Humanoids or This Perfect Day paints this picture of AI creating a totalitarianism of comfort.
Totalitarianism of comfort.
Right.
Wow, explain that a bit.
Well, imagine everything is taken care of for you. Ultimate convenience. But the cost, maybe we lose our initiative, our creativity, the very meaning of struggling and achieving.
If everything's easy, what's the point? That's a sobering thought.
It really is.
But okay, it's not all doom and gloom in the portrayals, is it? There's the other side.
Definitely. There's a strong utopian counter-narrative. Think of helpful AI like R2-D2.
Everyone loves R2, or Data from Star Trek.
Exactly. Or AI with very human-like feelings like in Bicentennial Man or the movie Her.
Yeah.
In those stories, AI makes life better. It frees people up for leisure, for higher thinking, kind of like in Ian Banks' Culture series.
It's that hope that tech will elevate us.
Yes, but bridging that hope to reality, well, it gets complicated. Even AI aiming for good can stumble, especially over bias.
Okay, how so?
Well, a UN Women's source points out something crucial. AI is made of data. If that data reflects existing stereotypes.
Then the AI learns those stereotypes.
Exactly. It reflects and reinforces gender biases, for example. We saw this with Amazon's hiring tool that preferred men.
Right, I remember that.
Or think about voice assistants, often given female voices and performing service roles. Or image recognition systems that struggle to identify women of color accurately.
So we're basically teaching our prejudices to the machines.
Sometimes, yes, we risk encoding our own biases. But here's the twist, the paradox. AI can also be used to find and reduce these biases.
Okay, how does that work?
It can analyze data to uncover things like gender pay gaps or help improve access to microfinance for female entrepreneurs. It can even help draft more gender-sensitive policies.
So the same tool can be part of the problem and the solution.
Precisely. And beyond bias, AI is already doing amazing things in medicine, education, accessibility, really freeing up human potential.
That potential, that positive side, seems tied to the latest shift we're seeing, especially in business.
Yeah, there's been a definite change.
Reports talk about moving past the early skepticism and fear of job losses, mistakes towards AI being a strategic priority.
Driven by FOMO, right? Fear of missing out.
Exactly. No one wants to be left behind. AI is now seen more as an ally.
An ally to boost efficiency, cut costs, make customer experiences better?
Leading to what some call augmented workforces, humans and AI working together playing to their strengths.
It's less about the existential debates now and more about practical integration. How do we actually use this stuff?
So, looking back, our view of AI has really morphed from those early sci-fi nightmares of robot uprisings
Uh,
to today's much more complex picture of integration into, well, everything. It really does mirror our hopes and our fears as a species, doesn't it?
it absolutely does. And maybe, while fiction is great for exploring what-ifs, for rehearsing futures,
Mhm.
what we need now is a really constructive approach. The challenge isn't just picking sides, utopia or dystopia. It's about proactively building AI ethically, inclusively.
Tackling the real risks like bias head on.
Exactly. Not just getting caught up in the paranoia or the hype. Which leads to a question for you, listening right now. As we navigate this, what role do you think each of us plays in shaping this technology?
Mm.
How do we make sure AI helps build a better, fairer world and doesn't just repeat our past mistakes? Something to think about.